everyone. This is Shlomo Katz. You're listening to The Soul of Israel on the landofisrael.com, on the Land of Israel Network. Good morning, Rabbi Aryeh Abramowitz.
Good morning, Rabbi Shlomo.
How are you feeling today?
With you, I'm always feeling good.
That's very PC of you, and
it's true.
And it's true.
And it's true.
And it's true. And
especially after seeing this little video you just showed me.
Oh, yeah. We're going to blast this out to the whole network,
we'll
please,
blast
God.
it out to the network, so I won't ruin it. But be prepared. You're going to receive an email with the video from Rabbi Shlomo. Watch it. It's a good one.
Correct.
Really
Strange things happen as we approach what's known as the 3 weeks. This happens actually every year. That last week before the beginning of the period of 3 weeks of mourning, when we mourn over the destruction of our Beit HaMikdash, of our holy temples, both of them, it happens to be that this coming Shabbos is the 17th of Tammuz, the day we begin the 3 weeks period, because it's Shabbos, so it's pushed off to Sunday, the fast day. But there's something in the air that you like want to get a lot of energy out. A lot of things happen before you have to kind of like lay low and turn things off a little bit. No live music and no wedding celebration. So it's always like this the last week before the 3 weeks period. Every year this happens to me. Working like crazy, concert to wedding to festival to show. And but also, like, spiritually speaking, there's a lot that needs to come out into the air. Anyway, that's a preface. That's a little bit of an intro to the video that we'll be sharing a little bit later. And if you want explanations about the video, I'll be more than happy to provide them. Shlomo at landofisrael.com.
Shlomo at the landofisrael.com. And then soon thereafter, we're going to be sending out another video of Yishai Fleischer debating Yossi Beiler.
I watched it yesterday.
Was that fantastic?
Top. It was incredible. I was just humbled to know Yishai after I watched it. I was like, wow, I know this guy.
I was having a trouble there because, like, I've watched Rav Meir Kahana, and he's just a firebrand. And Yishai, I have to admit, I can never imagine saying it. In that genre of things, he was better. He was
better level,
because, because he had such a beautiful balance of midot. You know, he was kind and he was generous, but at the same time, he didn't back down on the truth.
He did not let the truth be stumbled upon.
Yeah,
I learned so much. I want to watch it again.
I'm definitely watching it.
I want to watch it again because I've watched. I'm very big in debates. Very big. I love watching debates. I learn a lot on Derech Eretz. On just like even though you have a truth, that does not mean that should determine what you think about someone that doesn't share your truth and the manner which your truth is portrayed.
I learned this with Carolyn Glick was debating Gershon Baskin, Hashem should heal him. And she just destroyed him. She destroyed him on an ideas level. But she was so angry. And understandably, she's just a woman of absolute truth. You know, and he's spewing such lies and distortions. But, you know, one could walk away and be like, he won. Because she lost. She was screaming so much. Really, like, who you are sometimes says more than what you say. And so Yishai really just did such
great.
a stellar,
I'm excited for
job.
our network to receive all this week. Good.
Yes.
Well, talking about this concept of debates, there was someone that tried to debate God this Shabbos, this Parsha. One of the wackiest stories we'll ever hear, probably the most far out story we have in the Torah, and that's the portion of Balak, a portion where the Jews are not even in the Parsha. We're not even in this Parsha. It's a whole story about a king of Moab, a sorcerer named Bilam. How would you say, what's it? I mean, a sorcerer is the right word in English, but what would you even say? A professional
warlock?
Magic? Yeah, a warlock. By the way, remember that famous teaching we learned from Rabbi David Zeller in the name of the Talmud Rebbe? Balak and Bilam spell out the words Bilbul Amok, which means mass confusion.
Deep confusion, right.
Which is really what this parsha is. But a debate where Balak or Bilam, as he tries to curse Am Yisrael, having God curse them, what he's coming from, we learned earlier this week a beautiful place. Where is he coming from? You know, whenever you want to really get a point across, you have to have a little bit of truth in it, even if you're full of lies. A little bit of truth. And the lie would be that Am Yisrael, the people of Israel, are deserving of a curse So what kind of truth do you have to put into it? Yes, they're special, but everyone is special. Everyone's the same. You don't have to make a whole deal out of God, why'd you choose these people? What's so special about them? Were you with us on Sunday morning? I'm not even remember. This past Sunday morning?
With the Sefer Torah?
No, Sunday morning. No, I believe it was just Jeremy was with us this past Sunday morning. And we learned something beautiful, an incredible concept. This is what Balak tried to do. Balak was the king of Moab, and he tried to take away the concept of Bnei Israel being special in the eyes of God. Not by saying that we're horrible, but by saying that we're just like everybody else. So Rabbi Shlomo Katz taught that when God punishes you, he punishes you midah keneged midah. How would you say that in English?
Attribute for attribute.
How would you say that in English?
I would say that within the punishment is a allusion, a hint to the crime.
Okay. What's the crime here? The crime is that Balak is trying to take away the concept of us feeling and looking special in the eyes of God. So, listen to this is an incredible teaching. It's a mind-blowing teaching. People always wonder, what's it going to be like when Mashiach comes? What does it mean? What's Messiah consciousness? What's going to change in the world? What do people feel like? Is it really going to be like magic flying carpet style? What have you heard?
There's a lot of different approaches.
Yeah, but pretty far out stuff, right? Many of them like supernatural. Anyway.
Yeah, lion will lie down with the lamb,
right. Well,
and there will be no war.
The prophet says it, yeah. One of the things we don't really speak about too much is how people are going to feel inside their hearts when Mashiach comes. Okay, we know it'll be peace, prosperity, please God, just nations will all come together and pray to God. But the key element of a messianic consciousness, to describe a key element of messianic consciousness, would be that each person in the world will feel special. That's what it means to live in a messianic consciousness. Everyone, there'll be no doubts about people feeling that they are special in a certain way about something. And that's why until Messiah comes, you and I, and all our listeners and our viewers and all our friends all over the world, those that want to be plugged into the inside of the inside, to already have a little bit of a messianic attitude, a holy messianic attitude, a Jewish holy messianic attitude, is that we need to make people feel special now to usher in the great day. We ourselves need to feel special about it, but we need to cause people to realize, like Rabbi Karabach really did his whole life. Like, the famous story is that my friend was waiting online to get a bracha from Rabbi Shlomo on Shabbos one time, and the person before him that was hugging Rabbi Shlomo said to this person, "Brother, your mamish the best." My buddy Stewie comes, he's next, and he gets a hug. He says, and Rabbi Shlomo says to him, "Brother Stewie, your mamish the best." And then he said to him, "Shlomo, come on, I just heard you say it to the other person." He's like, "Yeah, but it's true, because when I told him you're the best, no one else existed in the world at that moment. So he really was the best. But now, I'm in front of you."
It's like the teaching you taught about V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha.
Whoever's next to you at any given moment.
Right.
Correct.
Love your neighbor as yourself. Who's your neighbor? Whoever is with
Correct.
you right now.
So I think like if we lived that teaching, that's what it means. We're paving the roads, that we're ready for messianic consciousness. Not just going to show up like a boom. And that's the counter to what Balak tried to do into this world, to remove this sense of special, that we are special as a people. Who's Balak's great-great-granddaughter? What nation is Balak the king of? Moab. Who else comes from Moab? Ruth the Moabite. She is Balak's great-great-granddaughter. Who is the great-great-grandson of Ruth? King David, the Messiah. How does God pay people back? Midah keneged midah. Attribute for attribute. Oh, brother Balak, you wanted to tear out the concept of specialness from the world? From you, from your descent. Not only are you not going to be successful, I'm going to choose to bring the light of specialness drawn down generations later through your offspring, through Ruth, the great-grandmother of the King Messiah.
I mean, that's an interesting sort of punishment Right.
So you remember getting to this. So how is that a punishment? It's very simple. When you take a rasha, when you take an evil man, and you want to punish him, where do you put him? Gehenna or Gan Eden? Hell or heaven? Where do you put him?
Right, I guess
you put him in heaven. Because for him...
Hell, he feels at home.
I'm fine in hell. That's what I know of. That's where I feel most at home. Let's surround this guy with light, with spirituality, with love. People wanting to give you a hug. That's hell for the rasha.
Okay. All right. I mean, but hell is an illusion, right? We don't... It's a refining place to refine out the dross, and then you come towards heaven. So maybe what it is, it's saying that there was some little level of light in Balak. There's
a little level of light in everyone because we're all created in God's image. The question is, do you care enough to spend your time so that nekudah of light...
Nurturing that, right.
Exactly. So God says, okay, you're not going to be busy doing it. I'm going to do it for you.
Right.
And I'm going to do it through your great-granddaughter.
It's beautiful.
Listen, the Gemara also says that the great-great-grandchildren, the descendants of Haman, ended up learning Torah in Bnei Brak. Reb Shlomo would have stories of children of Nazis that somehow found their way to Judaism and converted. And he would see them later in life with beards and payas.
Also, my story at the farm, remember? When the building of the Beit Tefillah, or House of Prayer on the top of the mountain, and I'm watching Muslim Arabs and Germans build that together, right?
Where my daughters
and Yishmael.
Where my daughters and my friends who came to visit the farm last week with their children danced in a dome built by descendants of Ishmael and Edom.
Right.
So... listen, God consciousness is going to eventually penetrate throughout the whole world, meaning Mashiach, it's going to reach everywhere. The question is, do you want it to be as if it's a punishment to you, or do you want to be the one to open your heart so that you can gladfully and with pride say, yes, this is happening through me. I'm adding specialness to the world.
You know, that just added a dimension of something that I've always thought about, you know, that David HaMelech came from prostitution and from incest. We know that, right? From Lot and his daughters and from prostitution. But you just said, and Balak also in Moab, right? And Eglon. You remember all the way? And
Correct.
I remember when I was in the 5th grade learning that story, which is quite a compelling story for a 5th grader, that Ehud ben Gera stabs Eglon in the stomach, and he's so morbidly obese that his guts come out and his servants think he's in the bathroom. But when Ehud ben Gera said, I have a message from you, from God, Eglon stood up. And I remember learning then, because of him standing up then, his descendant, Ruth, was a descendant of David and the Mashiach.
Yes.
So it's like not only within ourselves, but the darkness of the entire world.
Correct.
Mashiach is coming from there also. It's all pervasive. For some reason, it just expanded my...
Correct. That's beautiful and disturbing as well.
Right.
But very, very cool. What could I say, Ari? I give us a bracha that... I give us a bracha to be little Mashiachos, to be little, little messengers of Chabad has their shluchim, and I think that's what Chabad is really doing. They're not pushing any other trip other than, listen. You think you could run away somewhere where no one's going to know who you are? You don't know who you are? I'm here to remind you that you're special. And each of us have to take on that, become emissaries of Mashiach, of what it's going to be like. And I think that we're getting much closer, despite all the insanity and craziness that's in this world. At least if those of us that are listening right now can take upon ourselves that there's one person today in our lives that we're taking upon ourselves to make him or her, make them feel special today. That's it. And then when we go to sleep at night, not to feel proud out of haughtiness, but say, thank you, God, for that opportunity. Tomorrow, let me make 2 people feel special. And hopefully, slowly.
Can I just add one thing to that? Now that I'm just thinking, you have my mind running, and I'm thinking about the issue I was just telling you about peace now, right? And so that's a really, really dark place. I felt such a wave of darkness when I encountered them that it took me a while to recover. And it wasn't even that they're trying to rip me out of the land that I love with a passion, with my whole heart, that they're trying to ruin my life. It wasn't that. That wasn't.
It was darkness.
It was their hatred for me in their eyes that was so overwhelming to me. And I'm thinking about Mashiach coming from those dark places, meaning that's where Mashiach is, that's where I have to look the deepest, and also the dark places in myself, and understand that's the Mashiach that I need to raise up.
I'm giving you a bracha for brave eyes. Brave eyes, courageous eyes. We all need it. Brave eyes, courageous eyes. Because making people that actually are special, to make them feel special is kind of easy. Making people feel special that it's not so evident that they're, carrying the goods, that's where it gets complicated. But you know what? God believes in us. Simple. And when you do it on God's cheshbon, on God's account, things kind of work a little bit differently. Anyway, have a beautiful, blessed rest of the week, dearest friends. Please reach out to us. Shlomo@thelandofisrael.com. Ari@thelandofisrael.com. Messiah No, I'm kidding.
Soon.
New email address. All the best, everyone. Shalom.